get their manual chair that they need a power chair, but then they have to wait because they got that manual chair. They have to wait 5 years to get the power chair. So a lot of times the physicians are having troubles where they don't know whether or not to have them get the manual chair or not, because pretty soon they know that they're going to need to get a power chair.
Can you tell them approximate cost of a manual chair?
Manual chair, I think, is probably about $20,000. I haven't had a manual chair in a long time, but
So we had one in here the other day. Did you guys realize the cost of that
I
chair?
had no idea how much it was.
It's amazing, isn't it?
yeah.
How much money would you say has been spent, like with your chair, like your van, all the
You're on your third band.
A lot of money.
This is what, your fourth?
What are some advancements that you appreciate since in your time of using a wheelchair or just out in public, things that you appreciate happening?
Curb cuts are getting better.
Family restroom.
Yeah, our restrooms are getting better. The family restrooms are nice because those are nice and big. A lot of times growing up, because the restrooms weren't very big, the stall door would have to stay open, so I'd get to say hello to everybody when they walked in the restroom. As I'm using the restroom, so privacy was not something that I really had an advantage of. I didn't really have privacy.
And if you were with your dad, you had to either go into the men's
Yeah,
or
I would
before
try
the
to
family.
convince my dad to go into the women's restroom that it was much more private, but no, I had to go into the nasty boys' restroom. But yeah, so family restrooms are really nice. The ADA still has a really long ways to go. It really hasn't been updated. Very recently, there's a lot of organizations, including MDA, that are fighting to have the ADA updated to include a lot of things, air travel being one of them. So it's definitely nice because, I mean, before even my time, there weren't those things at all, so.
Do you have the ability to get a pet?
To get a pet? Yep, I have 2 cats. My coworker, she actually also uses a power chair, and she just got a assistive dog that she works with, and Nessa is her name, and so they are working on training and things like that. So it's not something I would ever want to venture down, but they're a lot of work. Good questions, you guys.
What about the door issue, like when you were in college, the buttons? Are they blocking with the snow in there?
Oh, so handicap button doors, good for use, like if your hands are full, but sometimes people just use them for fun. When I was in college, I would push them, obviously because I needed to get in, and people would think that I was just opening it for them, and they would go ahead of me, and I would have to sit there and wait again to push it again because it would close by the time that I would try to. Or there was a ramp in college where it was the only width for me in my chair, so if there was people coming down, a lot of times instead of them turning around and going down the stairs, they would expect me to back up and let them off the ramp first. Another thing in college was I got stuck in the snow a lot. And sometimes people would just walk by me and not offer to help. So I really had to learn to utilize my voice and say, hey, can you help me? So, yeah,
In college, did you have someone who would like help you get ready and like go to bed?
Yep, so I hired people in college, just through the university website and made friends that way, and yep, but I had people that would come and help me in the morning and at night, and then I didn't have my surgery for my catheter until my senior year, so I had scheduled bathroom breaks, so I couldn't go to the bathroom, except for those times.
Was your dorm room modified, or were you in a normal dorm room like any other college student?
They considered it modified. The only modification was the door width was wider, the handle on the door was different, and the cutout underneath the sink.
And there was, the
Otherwise-
peephole was lower.
Huh?
There was a peephole that was lower so you could look
Oh,
out.
which,
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
Right.
live by yourself, or did you have a roommate during that?
I was by myself.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Did you meet other people who had like similar situations like in college? Or was there no others?
not necessarily in college, but because I was a part of the Muscular Dystrophy Association since I was a kid, MDA has a camp every year that they put on at Camp Courageous, and it's specifically just for kids with neuromuscular diseases that is covered by MDA. So,
Well, before we wrap up, I guess, and you've given us some things to be aware of, you know, pushing the buttons and going up and down the ramp, be aware that, it's not for us. Are there any other messages that you would have for the class?
I would just say always, you never know what the other person's story is. You never know what their struggle is. You never know what they're going through, if they're having a bad day, what they're struggling with. It's kind of cheesy, but Ellen's saying of be kind to one another. Just keeping that in mind and really thinking about your actions. If you're pointing a finger at someone else, remember that there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. So remember that, you know, what are you talking about other people about? Is that something that maybe you're dealing with? Or something that you're struggling about? Or is it something that you just don't know about that maybe you need to get more information on?
Excellent. Thank you for coming today, Ashley.